I would like to use all 3 wishes banging that baby.
Where did you go back? I don't want to hear it again.
Go ahead, that baby. Wishes banging that baby.
Stop it.
Hello everyone,
Hi everyone.
I am Waldemar,
And I'm Veronica.
and today we are watching some stand-up that Veronica has found.
Yes, we're watching Daniel Tosh. Around half a year ago or so, we watched a clip from him that's titled something about Americans and jobs. Like 97% of Americans shouldn't have jobs, something like that.
I
how do
can't
they have
remember.
jobs?
I can't remember this one.
Yeah, Valdemar doesn't remember it, but I remember that we liked it. It was fun. And you guys also liked it. It was pretty well viewed, that video. And you did say we can check out more of him. So I did a little bit of research and I found this compilation from some of the best of Daniel Tosh's stand-up. So we're going to give this one a chance. And I haven't really found any other individual clips of him on YouTube. I don't know if they've been taken off for some reason or if he doesn't upload and no one was interested in uploading those clips. No idea. But this will probably be the last one that we do from him because there's just not that much more. But if you know of anything, then drop that in the description. Drop that in the comments. In the description box, though, you can find... Smooth. You can find our movie channel, which we've recently launched, where we post movie reactions every Friday, every week. And also our Patreon. If you'd like to support us, then that's something you could check out. You could check out what tiers we have. If you want to be more engaged in this channel and with us, that's something for you.
Yeah. And now Daniel Tosh. He looks like a preacher, in church.
Yeah, at the beginning here, because I think he's quite older, but then he looked very much like... a very rich bloke.
Because that's a compilation.
Yeah, it's a compilation through the years, I imagine. So there is a small chance that there will be a clip from the one that we've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
If we catch it, then we're gonna maybe skip it. But since Valdemar says he doesn't remember it,
I will probably, if I will say it, then I will probably remember.
Yeah, then we can skip that one if it's even there. But the rest we for sure haven't seen,
But
so it's the first time watching for both.
I hope it shouldn't, be repeated here because he did five shows during his life.
It could be considered one of the best, right? So
okay, let's see.
Sometimes before I walk on stage, my girlfriend may say, "Have a good show, break a leg." This is what she said to me a few weeks ago, right before I walked on stage. She goes, "Hey, you ever worry about getting shot when you're out there?" I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Little impression I like to call anybody who ever wins an Oscar at the Academy Awards and their stupid acceptance speech. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that I won. I'm so nervous. I'd like to start off by thanking God for making this all possible, and I'd like to thank my beautiful wife for standing by me for all those years. Thanks, honey, we did it. And my time's going, oh, I just can't believe I won. What do you mean you can't believe you won? You had an aisle seat. I mean, nobody's ever seen this at the Academy Awards. This year, the winner it's Daniel Tosh.
Yeah.
No, I can relate. The commitment.
I won. My time's already up. I was in the back. Let me just do my little speech. I'd like to start off by thanking L. Ron Hubbard for making this all possible. I'd like to thank my beautiful wife for standing by me for all those years. I'd like to thank my girlfriend for keeping everything on the down low. I'd like to send a shout out to Tamika, Rashonda, Rochelle, Michelle, and Amy. Hey, thanks a lot, y'all. They have a show on MTV.
That was a good observation.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, pretentious cunts, at those Oscars, they have like 5 nominees in each category, or 6, I don't know. But for like a main actor, there is like 5. So what do you mean when you say you were not expecting that? There was like 20% chance statistically that you will be chosen. Like you couldn't write a speech. They're like, oh, I didn't expect. I thought he's gonna win, but I didn't prepare a speech. Like, what did you have to do?
I also know that there's one of these awards where they actually let you know in advance that you were the one who won. They do not know the Oscar winners, that they are actually going to be the winner on the day.
I'm not sure. Like with some categories or with some Oscar editions, I think they knew. Like there is this example of the Shakespeare in Love, which was the biggest controversy I think in the history of
Something
Oscars.
rings a bell.
It was in 1999, and it won like 8 Oscars. It beat Saving Private Ryan for some reason. Gwyneth Paltrow won an Oscar before Kate Blanchett. I think Judi Dench was playing in this movie, and she won an Oscar, and she was on the screen for like 8 minutes.
But it wasn't a good movie?
Not better than Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
It won with Life is Beautiful. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it was because Harvey Weinstein was the producer of this movie, and he was like putting a lot of effort for this movie to win.
Okay.
So I assume that he knew back then
that he was gonna win.
That you were gonna win. But there are examples of I think when they but sometimes it's like even Academy is surprised. Like there was this one example with one movie, Spotlight I think, or Moonlight, that someone announced the winner. They all went to stage, and then they were like, "Oh, sorry, I'm mistaken. It was not the correct paper."
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they should have just left it then.
And it was for the most important category. It was for the best picture, And the whole cast came on stage, and then they were like, "Oh, sorry, no, not this movie."
Well, I think they should have just rolled with it. It was like, sorry, and then you have to resign.
Or like, for example, when there was the year when Chadwick Boseman died, the guy who played in the Black Panther, and normally. The last category on the Oscars is the best picture, but this year they changed the order, yeah. And for the last category, they chose the best male lead actor, and everyone assumed that it's because Chadwick Boseman is going to win postmortem,
yeah.
And that's like the way to to honor him. But no, Anthony Hopkins won, and he wasn't even there because he was at home. He was sleeping, so like. They did all this, build up for the last category.
Maybe they expected him to be chosen, but he wasn't.
Yeah,
chosen,
but the Oscars organized this event, so.
Strange. Let's go.
TV that I can't stand, Cribs. You ever watch Cribs? Yeah, that show should be called "Wanna Feel Like a Failure."
Yeah, have you seen it?
Little Bow Wow
MTV
has
Cribs?
an S series. That's not right.
They show you their homes, celebrities.
Tell you what, though, if I ever get really famous. I promise you the greatest Cribs episode of all time. Oh, you can trust me on this one.
Did he do it?
I'm going to hire Universal Studios to come over to my house, build an extension of caves and corridors that go from my bedroom to the bathroom. That way, every night when I wake up to go pee, the adventure begins. So I wake up, right, I'm like scared and nervous, and I have to go, and the camera crew's following me, and I'm like, ooh, and I hire Vin Diesel to hide and jump out and scare me and sword fight me, and he's like, prepare to die, and I'm like, calm down, you overactor, I'm paying you to lose. And he's like, oh. And then I kill him, and there's a princess tied up, and she's like, thank you, I've been here for so long. I'm like, no time for talk, you gotta tinkle, let's run. We start going, the walls start closing in, yeah, there's doors going down and rocks everywhere, and we have to go across an old rope bridge, but halfway across the rope bridge, the bottom one sets on fire, and it snaps. And she falls, but I got her with one arm. Yeah, I can feel her slipping, but she's looking up at me going, I'll never stop loving you. Close up on my eyes, and a close up on her eyes, and a close up on my eyes, like, and then she falls, like, ah! And I'm like, why? Why? And I snap out of that, I gotta pee like a racehorse, back up onto the rope. I get to the bathroom, I pull my pajamas down because I sit down and pee like a girl when I'm at my house. It's my house, I feel more comfortable that way. Don't judge me, the Bible says not to. But as soon as I sit down, a hologram of my dad pops up and he's like, Daniel, this is your father. Make sure you look behind the shower curtain before you... Too late, a dragon comes from behind the shower curtain.
Dragon!
It's gonna spray me with fire, but I rip the medicine cabinet off right, mirror, ching, ching, kills the dragon. Then I go to the bathroom, and I go back to bed. No one even knows I added these extensions onto my house. It's top secret. My maid comes running in. Daniel, what was all that ruckus? And I'm like, oh, Helga, it was nothing. Now get back to your quarters. And she's like, Then I roll over and stare at the camera crew and I go, shh. And then the camera goes back onto Vin Diesel's body, close up on his face. And then his eyes open. Oh, did you get chills? Yeah, let's see P. Diddy top that crib. Am I the only person who hopes David Beckham has sex with Brad Pitt? I don't know who's in charge of casting in Hollywood, but make it happen before one of them's out of their prime. Can you imagine those two men together making love? Oh. If there's a man in here that's junk, doesn't wiggle just a little bit at the thought of those two men together, this has nothing to do with your homophobic sexual preference. At that level, it's art, you monkey, okay? You should be honored that you share the same restroom with those Greek gods. Can you imagine if they had a child? Oh. Was that Simba? What the fuck, was that Simba? That's the Beckham Pitt kid? That's Pitt cum? The most beautiful child the world has ever seen? Picture baby Jesus with better abs. That's a good-looking baby. If they had a baby Abercrombie store, they'd hire him to work the front door, right? Just stand there, shirtless, propped up. He can't stand yet. Just leaning against the wall. Big poster of himself. Just standing in little tight Pampers. And you'd walk in, and you'd be like, I don't want to say this,
Pampers?
but I want to fuck that baby. Oh, man, do I want to fuck that baby. If I had 3 wishes, 2 of them be to fuck that baby, and 1 would be for more wishes. Well, you can't do that. Then I want to fuck the baby a 3rd time. I would like to use all 3 wishes banging that baby.
What?
I think I understand what his comedy is about, you know, like taking this strange place that he has in his head.
Yeah. I wish I didn't know he had this place in his head.
Who's more handsome, Beckham or Pete?
Pete.
Do you know
Yeah.
how Beckham looked?
Yeah.
Okay. It was very, very quick answer. Like you were thinking about
It was
a lot.
I was just thinking about it before. I had it ready.
Banging that baby.
Where did you go back? I don't want to hear it again.
Go ahead, that baby. Wishes. Banging that baby.
Stop it.
Wishes. Banging that baby. Go ahead, dumb people. Be offended by a joke that doesn't have a plausible premise. Well, I'd love to read your email. I felt you went over the line a bit when you theoretically wanted to fornicate with a mythical child.
Yeah, it's like hentai. It doesn't
Gave a
count.
commencement speech recently at a high school, and that didn't go well at all.
Yeah, I wonder
Bunch
why.
of high school kids, parents that are proud of them, and I'm belittling the entire thing. And the administration got really upset with me. They're like, we didn't know you weren't going to take it seriously. To which I replied, really? You thought this was where I was going to get serious? High school? How did you do it? No. I refused to give that generic speech. As I look out here, I see future lawyers and doctors. I gave the real speech. There's felons here. Some of you will die in a DUI accident tonight.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Explain to me why a dose of reality before community college is a bad thing. Because I certainly don't need to pander to the 1%. They don't need my little pep rally. They're gonna be just fine. Nobody's been a pile of shit their entire life and then turned it around because of the commencement address. Excuse me? No, it just clicked. So you're saying I can be anything? Oh yeah, that sounds way better than what I was gonna do. I like this guy. Don't you love it when people in school are like, I'm a bad test taker? You mean you're stupid? Oh, you struggle with that part where we find out what you know? No, I can totally relate. See, because I'm a brilliant painter, minus my god-awful brushstrokes. Oh, how the masterpiece is crystal up here, but once paint hits canvas, I develop Parkinson's. I apologize if there's a Parkinson's painter here this evening.
I assume your best work is in the AM. Probably gets a bit abstract by noon.
You understand?
Yeah, in the AM in the morning.
Hang in there, it gets worse.
Explain it to me. Why it's in the morning is better.
Because the shakes get worse as you progress during the day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Has enough time passed in this country that we can openly and
This
honestly
is
talk
from
about the
the-
great things Osama bin Laden did for us? And don't
I don't
act like
remember
he didn't
it.
do anything good.
I don't remember this bit.
How about the fact that we immediately know September is 9? That's not nothing. That's not nothing. Do you remember what we used to do? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 9. Honey, it's 9. I use it for August. 9/11 minus 1. 8. How about the fact that every time you take your wife or your girlfriend to the airport, you no longer have to walk her all the way to the gate? Yeah. Maybe next time you do a drop-off, you give them a quick, "Thanks, Osama." Hope you're enjoying
You
that
like
good,
that one?
young, tight stuff they hand out up there. Are we okay with mocking his beliefs? I did that joke in Utah, and they laughed like that's the crazy religion. Those stupid Muslims, they only have one heaven. I believe Mormons have 3. I've never read their plates. Some of you are too young to remember pre-9/11 airport drop-offs, but they were the worst. Your girlfriend's like, "Can you give me a ride to the airport?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'd love to," because there's never been a service invented that would take you to the airport. What time's your flight? 4:15 a.m.? Perfect. No, I was gonna get up at 2 anyway, so that works out. No, you know me, 2 o'clock rolls around and my body's like, "Start your day, it's 2. Then you're driving to the airport, you're like, "You gonna come inside?" Yeah. Why wouldn't I? Parking there's so convenient. Besides, I have to start every day with a 2-mile stress-filled sprint walk. Oh, your flight's delayed an hour and a half? Perfect. I'll get a Cinnabon, get diabetes before you take off. Do you remember? Some guys wouldn't even leave after they boarded. They would just stand at a window waving at a machine backing up because they were so happy to finally be alone. Now what do you get to do thanks to
Why are you
Osama?
laughing?
Barely slow down and kick them to the curb. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I say that's worth a tower. Not 2, not 2, not 2. Whoa, that was close. No, rightfully so. I fucking thought he meant both of them. He didn't, he only meant one, he cleared it up. Which one? Does it matter?
How many people died in 9/11?
I don't know.
Like a couple thousands, right? I
Yeah.
think.
I don't know. Almost everyone who was in the towers, people who were in the surrounding area as well. Then a lot of people, I mean, quite a few people
those on the
from
planes.
the rescue teams.
Those on the planes too.
Those on the planes, yeah. Quite a lot of people from the rescue team.
You thought I was joking, but
For a second I thought you were joking. I was like, oh yeah, those are the planes too, yeah.
yeah, the planes were
Yeah,
hijacked.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like they were planes
Yeah.
from Pakistan or.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering why it's so vivid in the American memory. Maybe it was because it was the only like attack on their land.
Oh,
but
it
you know,
was one of the
because-
biggest terrorist attacks ever. Of course, it's big on your mind. It was in the center of the city.
Yeah, but America, you have now massacres, every month, or even often. Like especially since I recently saw the statistics, and it got worse since COVID. So since 2020, they have like dozens of
Yeah, but I think-
massacres every year.
I think there's something different than in like a crazy person doing a shootout,
Yeah,
and when you have this feeling that there's an organized organism that wants to destroy your country, that in a very cinematic move, like puts two
Yeah,
planes
maybe,
in two towers and it's
maybe.
broadcasted everywhere and thousands of people die.
Yeah, because I would understand, especially in New York,
Yeah.
But America is like a big country, and we have those massacres basically going on everywhere. So it's something. It's closer to you. It's always like that with something tragic. With someone's gonna murder someone, and it's like 30 kilometers from where you live. You're like, you need to call your family. Like they killed someone in the city next to mine. So I would assume that it's fresher in the memory.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe you get a bit let me know, guys, how it is. But I would assume you get a bit desensitized to it because you have to stay sane. So like if there's constantly shootings next to your area, then you have to stop caring about it, right? I mean, at least a little bit, because otherwise how... It's like when I was in London, there were... I'm saying London because I was never to the US, but there were a couple of terrorist attacks in the metro. Not when I was there, but it's like you don't think about it because that's just... It's not like you don't go on the metro because there were terrorist attacks there.
There were more than one?
I think there was more than one.
The famous one was from 2005.
I think there was one more after that, and there were attempts, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah,
they were like stopped. Yeah.
You can always take an example from France, have a terrorist attack every 3 months, and then you're like, oh yeah. Terrorist attack.
Okay, let's go on.
Normal in August.
Let's go on with the funny.
We get to do, thanks to Osama, barely slow down and kick them to the curb. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I say that's worth a tower. Not two. Whoa. That was close. No, rightfully so. I fucking thought he meant both of them. He didn't. He only meant one. He cleared it up. Which one? Does it matter? To my uncle. There you go. Now everyone's offended. If I can take a quick moment to be sincere, and then I'll go back to being an asshole. Know that I appreciate this. That this isn't lost on me. I didn't have dreams of grandeur getting into comedy. It's overwhelming. Thank you for coming out. I know that eventually this will come to a crashing halt. I'm not gonna stop saying awful things. Eventually I'll say the one thing where it's like, oh, there goes his career. Wow, he thought you could say that, huh? I actually wrote a career suicide note. Would you like to hear it? Okay. Dear Jews. That's all I've got so far. Right now people are like, oh fuck, he's doing it. Here we go, got it. This started out strong. Thank you very much.
I love this one joke in Rick and Morty when Rick is never cared about anything. But there is like one time when Morty is explaining something that about Israel and Palestine, and Rick is like all stressed up, like, but what was I saying? What?
How did you like it?
Yeah, it was fine.
It was interesting to see how he changed throughout the years, like both, the appearance and the jokes and everything.
I like the dark humor part, with the 9/11.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
that was
about the baby
funniest.
jokes. Like it was that seemed like it was trying to be a bit too much.
It was a weird idea. Like he started from this weird concept about having Brad Pitt and
David Beckham have a baby
sex
together.
and a baby, and the whole premise of the joke is that he wanted to fuck the baby, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a strange thing to decide to write down, practice, and decide that you still really want to keep that one joke.
Yeah, but the rest of it was fine.
It was really fine. I think the part that we watched about Americans and jobs, it was not quite as extreme on the dark side, like the 9/11 part. So it was interesting to see that part of him as well. And like I said, I guess for now this will be it that we watched from Daniel, because there's just no other clips that I found. But yeah, I'm happy that we saw a little bit more.
He tries to take you in this weird place in his mind.
Yeah. Kind of like Louis C.K., but it doesn't work
exactly.
that well.
I want to say that exactly like Louis C.K., but Louis C.K. also makes the journey, funny.
Yeah.
Because you go with him on this journey, and you're like, oh right, okay, I think I'm here with you now.
Yeah, like Louis C.K. could probably tell that toilet story even better.
What story?
The toilet story, when he made that whole journey from the bathroom to the toilet. I think he would have...
Because it was like a Louis C.K. story, but he can make, like a word... He can put words in this order that it would make it funnier.
Yeah.
And he has like a part of this talent, but the craft is not yet there. Like we watched Pete Davidson, and he is like a good example of when you have your craft,
Yeah, really well done.
Really well done. And with him, it's like he has good ideas. He has a good premises for a joke, but I think the craft is not yet there. That's why I think he's
Yeah, it's not polished.
not
Yeah.
as popular as the rest of those guys.
Yeah, I can agree. Well, thank you very much for watching with us, guys. Check out our movie reaction channel, check out the Patreon, subscribe to this one if you're not already, and we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye.
Bye bye bye.